Oh, hello again. It's Phil Jamieson, proofreadnow.com. Welcome back. Hey, today we're going to cover some interesting words that we don't want you to mess up. You know, recently I was at a business meeting. We were discussing some decisions made in the past, some good, some bad. Somebody said, well, after all, hindsight is 50-50. I was at another meeting where we were toasting somebody, and someone raised his glass to the well-wisher and exclaimed, Molotov! Don't make these mistakes, all right? First, compliment and compliment. They're pronounced the same, but they're spelled differently. So when you're writing, make sure you distinguish between these two words. The I word is when you want to make an expression of esteem for someone. You're complimenting somebody. You're saying, boy, that's a very nice-looking photo of you. Or you did very well today in your presentation. That's compliment with an I. E is when you're completing something. You might say, boy, that brown jacket really complements that gray tie. A compliment also is used as an expression of a number, of a complete number. For instance, the complement of troops means that all the troops were here. So make sure you distinguish between the I and the E version of compliment. People and persons. It's historically, we've used persons for a small number. We had 3 persons in the room. And you use the word people with a lot. You might say 1 million people have been using Proofread Now in the past year. But nowadays, they're interchangeable. People use people with even small numbers. So it doesn't really matter too much there. Partly and partially. Partly, both words mean to some extent or in part. Partly is very much that case, but the word partially is used to get a sense of incompleteness. Something might be partially cooked, meaning it should be cooked some more. Also connotes a sense of unfairness. He treats his friends partially. So make sure we know the difference between partly and partially. How about over? It's an idiom to say there were over 5 people in our store today. That's idiomatic English, which is okay. But if you want to avoid idiomatic English, use more than. There were more than 50 people here today. Don't use over if you want to avoid idioms. In the process of, you can almost always get rid of that phrase. It seldom, if ever, needs to be used. Think of a sentence where you might say in the process of, and just get rid of it. It makes the same meaning and fewer words. Regrettable and regretful. What is regrettable is unfortunate or deplorable. But a person is regretful if he feels regret for having done something or for something that's lost. The adverb regrettably, not regretfully, is the synonym of unfortunately. So make sure we distinguish regrettable and regretful. Hone in, never use it. People will often say, we're going to hone in on a solution. But that's wrong. It's just substandard English. The expression is home in, very much like what a homing pigeon does. So if you're going to say, well, we met in our committee today and we honed in on 5 solutions. No, we homed in with an M. Don't make the mistake of using hone in that context. It makes you look silly. And another word that really makes you look silly is the word irregardless. Never use irregardless. It's a non-word. It'll make you look like a moron, and nobody wants that. You know what? People probably confuse irregardless with irrespective, which is a valid word, but use regardless, not irregardless. Gourmet and gourmand. Both are people who know the better points of food and wine, but gourmand is a glutton. So that's the difference between gourmet and gourmand. And finally, fortuitous and fortunate. Fortuitous means by chance, whether it's good or bad. Fortunate means you are blessed by good fortune. So you might say, the tree fell and it was fortuitous that they were under the tree at the time. That means perchance. It's either good or bad. So doesn't mean fortunate. Don't mix up fortuitous and fortunate. So those are some words we want to make sure you get right. We want to make sure you don't make yourself look like an idiot. Use these words properly, and we're here to help at proofreadnow.com in print. Thanks for visiting. See you next time. Bye-bye.